everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac Advert Plus. We're crunching through these challenges relatively well. We got Waka Waka, It's Time for Africa, starring Shakira. Not really starring. A3PSYD24. If you remember, Waka Waka, I don't know why in my head I thought it, actually I know why, obviously. It's a Pac-Man reference. I thought it had the Game Kid, but it does not. So that leaves us, actually, I'm realizing now, this is not as easy of a run as I had originally anticipated. Strange Attractor and Anti-Grav. Oh. It's not a good combination. We're not necessarily screwed, but I certainly would not suggest we're in an amazing spot. I guess if we, like, walk backwards and place the Wakas... Ooh, this seems real bad. Like, try not to place them in a straight line, because then that leads to the enemies running you over. Whenever possible. Also, do this. Makes life much easier. Whenever possible, it kind of like walk around in a circle, I guess, so you're not just immediately hit. I did step on Creep, though. That's a tough enemy to fight right off the bat, if I'm being honest with you and also with myself. Now, I don't remember on Waka Waka if you get item rooms or not. You, like, my objective brain says you should, because it's actually, like, worse than starting with nothing. It's starting with the kind of stuff that could actually just hurt yourself pretty easily. But we're formulating a strategy. It's not working out too badly. Look at that. Oh, never mind, I am a fool. This is one of those ones that, actually, I quite like it. I like challenges that are difficult, or at least, I mean, I don't want to be overly reductive, but at least challenging, and then they have some kind of, like, cool association with them. Like, this one has a theme, and it's also difficult. I like it. Reasonably difficult, at least. So I am not going to go to the Cursed Room, because I definitely do want to give myself the best chance possible to deal with the devil. You know, so many, as much as I love the run so far, I love the idea of the run. You know, all's fair in love and war, right? If we can get Brimstone, helps out an enormous deal with these, while still being fun. If we can get Mom's Knife, helps out a great deal and might be reasonably fun. I love talking about bad idioms, and now that I think about it, all's fair in love and war. It's a terrible idiom. First off, all is not fair in war. A lot of war is inherently unfair. Like if the United States of America was to go to war with, like, you know, here's the thing, don't be offended, I have to pick a country, okay? If they were to go to war with Iceland, it's inherently unfair. I mean, the American soldiers are not used to fighting people as ruthless and willing to do whatever it takes to win as the Icelanders are. See, I turned the meme on its head there. But beyond that, you know, we have the Geneva Convention to try to fight, you know, war as, you know, civilized peoples, as civilized as it can be, you know, no biological warfare, no, you know, mustard gas and etc., etc. I don't know if it's always adhered to, because I mean, obviously it's not, because they used it in, well, I don't know when the Geneva Convention was made, I suppose, so. Either way, what am I trying to say? Oh, what have we done? I have broken him. This is very weird. But beyond that, not all is fair in love, obviously. Like, is it fair that one person could be so handsome, successful, smart, as good at Isaac as he is, and then still... Hold on, Ghost Baby. The joke is that it's me. Haha. Let's get out of here. Not what we were looking for to blow the doors off the run, but still relatively reasonable. Beyond that, you know... It's just, I don't think it would hold up in a court of law, which is maybe not what the expression's going for in the first place. But it's like, imagine you had a crush on somebody and they were married. And you were like, well, I just killed their husband. All's fair in love and war, right? Well, no. That's a bad... That was said by somebody who was a bad actor. William Shakespeare, probably. Is that one of those... It seems like an idiom that could have been said by a character in something and now has been taken out of context. You know, like when Michael Douglas in Wall Street says greed is good, and the whole point of that is that greed is actually bad. But people are like, hey, you know, you remember what Michael Douglas said? Greed is good. You had coffees for closers. You get the idea. Hey, well, I hate this. We're gonna wait just a split second there. Yeah. Interesting run. Every enemy's got to be handled just a little bit differently. It's not going so well. Crush him, Dad. I like that. That's a bad idiom. All's fair in love and war. How about this one? It's not fair in love and war, but maybe that's okay. I mean, it's not as pithy, I guess, but doesn't have quite the same buzz associated with it, but I remember in like, you know, English class when we were in public school. Elementary school, for those of you out there who use different parlance. This is horrible now. These danged flooded caves. We would always learn about things, so, you know, I mean, I thought of this because buzz was always like the example. Whenever somebody was like, you know, think of an onomatopoeia, and then give me an example. Someone would always put up their hand and be like, buzz. Someone else would put up their hand and be like, brr, it's cold. There must be some toros in the atmosphere. That's right, I know Bring It On. I've seen it many times for reasons I care not to explain. Give me the spirit heart, please. Whoop. Here we go. I remember we had one individual, and I mean, she's a perfectly nice lady. I think we have to do this, because blank card could save our lives if we get the right one. I haven't talked to her in a long, long time, but you know what? Let's try, okay? And then get a card. That's decent. Not great, but decent. And in fact, you know what? We should go one step further to try to win. Reroll, no card. Reroll. Card. Please. Okay, find a penny, pick it up all day long. We'll have good freaking luck. Whenever we had to talk about what's an oxymoron. You know, an oxymoron is a phrase that has like, oh my god. It has like conflicting meaning. Please! We're screwed, dude. I'm trying, but yeah, that's... We fought so many enemies that literally just rush us down. What are you supposed to do? Every year, and we were in the same class for like 5 years, whenever we talked about oxymorons, her hand would go up and she'd be like, military intelligence? Oh, come on. I get it. We get it, you're a liberal. That's a Twitch NLSS meme. If you're not familiar with the context, don't at me. A little rude. In hindsight, but at the time everyone gave it a nice healthy chuckle. What a strange room. Kind of looks like a butthole. Don't at me. Alright, good money. I am disappointed we lost once on this challenge, but you know, it's not an easy one, I guess. Originally I thought you started with Game Kit, and I was like, yeah, that's good, you know, like on all the rooms that are tough, you would just pop the Game Kit, be relatively good to go, maybe get some of your HP back that you could have lost depending on how you chose to roll it. I don't know how we could have played that better beyond having like a preternatural amount of mechanical skill. There we go. Cat o' nine tails, I'll live with it. Also remember, this is not meant to be a gratifying story or a story that emboldens me in any way. But they were like talking about using personification, I guess is like the word. I don't know, it's been a while since I had to answer questions about 12th grade English. I've gotten by okay on just my own merit, I guess, at this point. But they were like, it's when an inanimate object is classified as if it was an animate object. Give me an example. And I put up my hand and I said, the ocean roared. And like 7 people went, ooh. I was like, it doesn't seem, I don't know why you guys are being weird about it. It seemed like a pretty good example to me. And they're like, oh, I like that. These are now just like random anecdotes from my scholastic life. Speed. I don't have any better examples for you. I hate that speed down, I'll tell you that much. I don't know what that lady's up to now. I don't know if anybody else has an interface with Facebook the same way. My Facebook is on life support right now. You know, so I have all these people. If you weren't there, don't at me, okay? I was there, you know, I was in freshman year of university, the year that Facebook opened up to non.edu addresses. That was very scary. So we're going way, way back. That was 2006. But people were so excited about Facebook. You would meet somebody and you'd be like, add me on Facebook. You'd add them on Facebook. And then, you know, years later, you're like, how do you know this person? And you're like, oh, we saw each other once at a party. We shared our names. And then the next morning, we were like, hey, we should add them on Facebook so we can, you know, catch up. And then never talk to them again. I have like hundreds of people that I'm quote-unquote Facebook friends with that have not spoken to since probably the years 2006 to 2010, basically. But I haven't deleted it yet, and I don't have a good reason for why I haven't. Just inertia, like, I don't know. I literally, like 5 years ago even, I would have been like, well, I still use it to organize events sometimes. But now I just literally use it for nothing at all. But, you know, once a week I will go to Facebook, and I just have like 4 people, and all they... and I've done the bit before, but one of them is my friend's wife and also the mother of his children. Please be good items. Little Brim is acceptable. And then we immediately sacrifice it. So if you were smarter on this, you might have done Sister Maggie, sacrificial altar, then Little Brim, but it would leave you with not a lot of HP. But one more deal with the devil item. Anyway, and again, she's a great person, from all I can tell. We only met a couple of times, but it's because I moved away from my hometown soon after they had a child. Not because of the child, but, you know, well, very suspicious timing, wouldn't you say? And all she does is post new mom memes. That's fine. Maybe she's got a lot of followers and they're new moms. I honestly have no idea. But it's very exhausting or annoying that, like, anytime you see her make a post, it's always like, you know, love is... You'll never know a pain like seeing your child cry. And I'm like, well, thanks for that. It's really enriched my day. Share, share, share. So true, etc. Okay, I get it. And then my grandma doing personality tests. Which always is just, it makes me think like, man, I should really call my grandma. But I got Isaac to record. Sorry, Granny. And then like one other dude that I went to school with who became like one of those people on Facebook that talks about politics literally all of the time. And what his politics are is not relevant to the scope of this discussion. Because he'll see an article that's like, you know, hey, new hot dog stand opens up in Toronto. And then he'll be like, well, I'm sure glad the government let us open a new hot dog stand. I thought they were about to make meat illegal. And you're like, dude, just shut up. Nobody thinks that. Like, it's the most bad faith argument you could ever muster. Or mustered. The most bad faith argument ever mustered. There you go. That's the way you would do that pun if you wanted to actually have it be funny instead of accidental and shameful. Either way, those are the 3 kinds of people you see on Facebook in this day and age. And also, people who have not checked their account in like 20 days and have become like a spam bot that sells Ray-Ban sunglasses for reasons unbeknownst. Like, I don't even understand how that one works. I always see, like, one of my, not friends, but again, acquaintance will get, like, hacked. And it'll be like, hey, you guys want to buy some cheap Ray-Ban sunglasses? I'm like, does that actually work? Or is it just to spread the virus? But does the virus ever sell sunglasses? I just don't understand. Maybe I'm missing out. Anyway. It's very different from the kinds of accounts you see on Twitter. There's hundreds of kinds of accounts you see on Twitter. There's accounts you see created by, you know, the Russian botnet. There's accounts you see that are like... Nah, you get the idea. There's no extra joke there. I'm gonna use Chariot and hope for a speed upgrade. Whew! I mean, Chariot's a speed upgrade by itself, but I want something more Kaiser Permanente, if you will. Throw a bomb down. Throw a bomb down. It just, maybe is the way I've chosen to interface with it. I mean, I imagine if you, like, work at an office, it's different. You know, or you work with a lot of people just in general, it's probably different. You're probably like, hey, why won't you add me on Facebook? It's weird. I have pending Facebook requests, like, for friends from Kate's parents. From, like, when I met them for the first time. I haven't accepted an ad on Facebook since, like, 2013. Why should I? I don't... We went through a period in, like, at least for our generation, where we just gave away all of our personal information out of novelty, and we're like, it's really cool to have a place where I can, like, store photos. And then, you know, when you're in high school or college, or, you know, you're retired or something like that, you're like, hey, that's cool. People can see my photos. And then when you're about to enter the real world, you go, oh no, people can see my photos? I'm starting to harken back to the days where we printed out all of our photos at Walmart and then put them inside of a glossy book and went, oh, I remember that. It's better now. But is it? Yeah, probably. I don't know, it's like a zombie social network, man. I don't have anything more to say. Why was I even thinking about Facebook? Ooh, let's go. No reason, really. I was just, I was thinking of, like, the number of people, I guess, that I have met once in my life, and, you know, why I would choose to add them to a social network and never speak to them again. It was a product of the times. If you're in college today, I'm actually interested to know, do people still use Facebook? On the regular, at least? Because I'll tell you, I mean, now, it's like, back in my day, Bob's Rotten Head, permanent stat upgrade. That's the way I'm looking at it right now. Don't even use it. Just use it for the stats. Back in my day, it was only, at least in my school, it was only like weird people who didn't have Facebook. And those weird people now look like geniuses. You'd be like, hey, why don't you have a Facebook? They'd be like, well, I don't really appreciate the idea that they store all of our personal data forever and then use it to, you know, serve us advertisements. And then, you know, I also think there's kind of a troubling thing to bring up about, you know, the nature of putting all these moments online forever for anyone to see anonymously and, you know, possibly use your photos against you later if you're looking for occupations or something like that. And then you're like, whatever, dude, stop being lame. Just get a Facebook. And they get a Facebook and just have, like, the default profile photo. Never use it. You're not like that, Benjamin. But those people were vindicated. They were right. They were right then, even before the allegations of the whole, you know, leaking personal information, etc., spying on you, blah, 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 came out. But, like, they were right then, too. We were just too young to care. We went the path of least resistance. I want to be able to share my photos. I want to be able to take a photo on a Nikon Coolpix, then the next morning plug it into my computer, upload all of the photos to my hard drive, and then upload them from my hard drive to a gallery hosted in Cupertino, California, and then have a link to that. It was very seamless and easy. That's not fair. People did have cell phones back then, just not everybody. And smartphones only existed when I was in, like, my 3rd year. We get it. And not after that. After the 4th year, they said, no more smartphones. And that's where we are to this day. Not true. Credit card. We've never had it, so we might as well take it. Not that it gets caught for our save file, but, you know, we might as well just take it just to have had it, you know? Maybe kids these days, I don't follow them because I'm interested in social media anymore, but I follow them because the companies that make these applications are sometimes worth hundreds of millions to even billions of dollars. But I know, like, Yik Yak popped off for a while, but now Yik Yak's not cool. And then there's, like, you know, WhatsApp. WhatsApp is what you download when you're like, or Line or Kakao Talk. You know, those are what you download when you're like, I'm going to a place where I don't have a data plan, but I want to text without actually having to pay for, not data plan, sorry, where I'd be roaming, but I want to, you know, text message you without having used a text message that might cost me money. I understand that. Well, not losing our stat bonus here. We're only 1 floor away from completion anyway, so we're pretty good here. Yeah, we're gonna be set. And then, like, there's some apps I still don't even understand. Like, I don't really understand Instagram. Which is to say, not that I don't understand it, but I don't understand how I would use it, I guess. Because to me, Instagram is still just an app that only has photos. But I know that there are, like, you know, there's genuine Instagram celebrities, which is not necessarily any weirder than being a Twitch celebrity or a YouTube celebrity or whatever. It's like, it's a photo sharing site, but it's all, here it is. It's like YouTube for photos, right? Do I have it right? Young people of the world who I'm desperately trying to stay relevant to. It's like you follow somebody because you're like, hey, I like your style, I like your photos, etc., etc. I like what you're doing. And then, you know, maybe like a little bit is like, I want to look at your big butt or something like that. Don't lie to me, okay? I'm sure that's at least a little bit of it. I mean, why are you watching my videos if not to look at my big butt? But then you go, okay, it's not like they're going to put every photo that they ever take on there, probably. They're going to put, like, photos that are worth sharing and are curated, and you're like, okay, you're worth seeing in the feed. Okay, I think just from talking about it for 2 seconds, I sort of understand it a bit more. Fair enough. I don't want to fight the boss yet. I want to at least explore the rest of the floor, because we're in that awkward period of a video where, like, I shouldn't do 2 in this one, or my throat might implode. Especially because I don't remember. Isn't the next one, it's Family Man, right? Which is like full orbital game. Can't remember. But yeah, like I also don't understand Snapchat. Snapchat is DMs. It's multimedia DMs. Is that correct? I know this is like a dad, but really, like, you know. If you haven't experienced it yet, when you get a little bit older, it does start to, you know, things take on a certain more layer of impermanence, if that makes sense, you know? I was part of the zeitgeist for Facebook, to some extent for Twitter. You know, I understand it. For YouTube, for sure. I remember the first time I saw a YouTube link. It was like one of those things where I was like, of course this exists now. Why hasn't somebody made this earlier? I was like, it's a video link. It doesn't require you to download Real Player. It's a new era. Yo, I'm gonna do boss rush just to kill some time, honestly. Just to have some fun with this run that's actually pretty okay so far. And if we lose, well, you know, deserved, right? This is just for bravado. Hello, mother. Hello, father. Look at my run. Totes bravado. But then, like, some of these other raps, you're like, ah, they come and go. Admittedly, I also grew up in the generation where people were like, you know, there's gonna be a new social network every year that's gonna replace the one before it. And you can't blame us, because that's the way that it, like, you know, it was for a while. You're like, hey, Friendster meet MySpace, MySpace meet Facebook, Facebook meet, still kind of, it hasn't really been replaced by Twitter. It's just, you know, different skews. That's why I laugh when people, whenever there's like a YouTube controversy, people are like, when will somebody make a better YouTube? And I'm like, dude, it's Google. You're gonna make something better than Google? I'm not ignorant about YouTube, like about the problems on YouTube. Those are myriad and apparent. And some of those are problems that are unique to YouTube. And some of those are just products of, in my opinion at least, and you know, I'm not a communications, I don't want to say communications major, but I don't have an education in communications or sociology. But I think a lot of the problem that, you know, happens on YouTube is just due to the nature of how, like, the algorithm determines what content to share, which is that stuff that gets watched gets shared. If you want your content to get watched, you just sort of lie. You know, video title is like, I almost died, and then the story is like, a dude disagreed with me and I was mad. You know, I think some of those problems are not unique to YouTube. But anyway, I digress. I'm just saying, making a better YouTube. Good luck. You know, it's one of those things where it has like inertia at this point. It's like when your train is late. And you're like, when will somebody build a better subway? Like, wow, that's... When you envision it like that, I think you can understand, even if you disagree with me, you can understand my point to some extent. It's not that it's so large that we should just take everything that comes with it without any sort of criticism or resistance whatsoever. It's more like I have a certain resignation that, like, one problem with YouTube doesn't mean, like, somebody in their basement could just be like, hey, over the weekend I made TuTube, and it's just YouTube but better. Anyway. I don't know what the kids are using these days. I guess I don't care. Snapchatting each other pictures of your bums and Instagramming a photo of a quinoa bowl. I don't understand these generations anymore. Back in my day, we ate a T-bone steak out of the garbage can and we took a photo with our Polaroids. And we liked it, gosh darn it. You know what I've been thinking about that's weird to me? And it's... what I'm about to say is profoundly stupid. But I want to bring it up because I think it's interesting nonetheless. Maybe you'll find something, if not to like be interested by, at least laugh at. One thing I find interesting is like, you know, you ever watch a movie about like teenagers that takes place in the 1950s? It doesn't matter if it's the 1950s. It could be the 1980s. It could be the 200, you know? And it's not really about the movie either. I know it's getting confusing here, but it's like people that were teenagers in 1950, they were teenagers in the modern era. Like, for them, they were living in the present. And I know that that's obviously extremely obvious, but, you know, we look back on them and we're like, oh, a teenager in the 1950s, how quaint. And they're listening to, like, the Everly Brothers, like, Earth Angel, Earth Angel. That isn't music that's exclusively listened to by 7-year-olds. 7-year-olds listen to it because they were 15 in 1953. Or something like that, you know. My math might be slightly fuzzy, but it's close there. They were like, man, we're listening to some cutting-edge stuff here, the Everly Brothers. It kind of messes me up sometimes, because, you know, I was watching Manhunt Unabomber, and they show a little bit of a dramatization of Ted Kaczynski's young life, and there's like 2 teenagers making out, and I'm like, don't they know they're old? But they're not old. When they were teenagers, they were like, man, it's so awesome living in 1950. I hope somebody invents a way to economically and conveniently reheat leftovers soon. I'm tired of putting them in the oven every time, you know? It's like, it's kind of amazing. I sure hope somebody invents something so I don't have to toast my bread in a pan on the stove anymore. And somebody invents the toaster and they go, whoa, the future's amazing. But that'll be us one day, you know. Like, I 3D printed an airplane wing. Oh, the future's amazing. This is my child making fun of me 30 years from now. Oh, there's a new app that lets you see what the weather's like in a different city. Isn't the future amazing? We're like, dude, I just genetically engineered, like, you know, a gun out of my hand. I can shoot my hand like a gun now, which is very useful now that the AI has taken over. You know, it's like a Terminator situation. Anyway, we made it. Good run. Boop. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Whoa! Death's touch has appeared in the basement. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It was a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And, of course, follow me on the channel that is known as twitch.tv/Northernlion. If you're notified I want to do live content in the future, I'm doing more live content than ever. Follow me there. It's a fun time. I promise you. You can make fun of me in real time, simultaneously, and concurrently with a lot of other eggheads. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. See ya!